Krypton Vote Code LB1. This is Kirk Morrison of the Oakland Raiders. I'm here to talk about my instructional video about how you can get to where I'm at now. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication. Repetitive drills every single day. Drills that are going to get you quicker, stronger, faster, give you more and more knowledge of the game, from technique to stance, to breaking, to cutting, to getting to the right position to make the play. An outside linebacker stance can vary between a 3-4 and a 4-3. When you look at 4-3 outside linebacker stances, they pretty much are feet shoulder width apart with a nice knee bend, head and eyes straight ahead, with they're able to move from right to left, back and forward with very little movement or wasted movement. When you look at a 3-4 outside linebacker stance, a lot of times it's almost like a track start, because on a 3-4, guys have to hold an edge. So it's still, the feet are not as shoulder width apart, but more like a sprinter stance. A middle linebacker's position, when you look at the stance of a middle linebacker, which is a position I play, you have to have your feet shoulder width apart, eyes and head straight ahead and focus at all times, able to move right and left, forward and back with very little and wasted movements. Now, proper knee bend for a linebacker is pretty simple. What you want to look at is not being too high, not being too low, but being comfortable. You want to get a proper knee bend that allows you to push off to my right, push off to my left, push off to go forward, and push off to go back. Just enough knee bend that gives me the proper flexion to go anywhere and feel comfortable and feel like I can do it as fast and as quick as possible. As a linebacker, when you want to backpedal, you have to make sure that your feet are shoulder width apart. As you begin your backpedal, you go backwards. You take steps back. But at the same time, you want to make sure that your chest is not too far over or not too far back, but aligned perfectly with your body. So that way you're in rhythm. And as you backpedal, it's just smooth. It's just small steps if you need to, big steps if you're going really, really fast. But make sure that your body is aligned and that you're able to move fluid and not stiff or not in discomfort. Planting and breaking is a little bit different as a linebacker. We can do it 3 different ways. The first way is through a back pedal. As we start our back pedal and we're ready to plant, you always plant with the outside foot away from where you're going. So if I'm breaking to my right, I want to plant with my outside foot, which is my left foot, and lead with the right, so that my next step with my left points me in the direction of where I need to go. And it's the opposite. If I want to go to my left, I'm backpedaling, I plant with my right, my front foot is moving to my left, and my next foot takes me right in the direction of where I need to go. That's through the back pedal. Now, the next plant and break is with the shuffle. As we shuffle as linebackers, we're staying square. When it's time to break, we want to break with our outside foot of where we need to go. We call it the plant foot. We're going to plant with our outside foot. It's either going to take us in this direction, it's going to take us back, or it's going to take us forward. But we have to have our outside foot planted, just as much as if I'm going to my right or my left. As I go to my left, I plant with my left foot. And as I plant and get some grass, if I cut it up, I can go whichever way I may want to go. Then the last part, as far as planting and breaking, is just regular running. You think about it, your body's moving left to right, going forward, going back. The only way you can look at planting is basically just get your foot in the ground and cut some grass, is how we call it. So if I'm running around, when I'm ready to break, I want to plant my foot in the grass and break. I want to plant my foot in the grass and go whichever way. And as you use the back pedal, you use the shuffle, and as you do running, they all work and they tie in together. Using that outside foot to break, using the inside foot to show you and point you in the right direction of where you need to go. Turning and bursting is a lot of will and a lot of want to. As a linebacker, turning and bursting is one of the most important things that we can do. We do turning and bursting through shuffles. We're through turning and bursting through back pedal. But the main thing about turning and bursting is that when you're ready to go, you have to go. You put that foot in the ground and you get there as fast as possible. So different ways that we can think about doing it is through our shuffle, our back pedal, and just regular running. When it's time to turn, we go, and when it's time to burst is where we make our money. As a linebacker, one of the coverages that we use is a man-to-man technique. One thing when you're teaching man-to-man technique is you want to make sure that you never get head up with the guy you're guarding against. As a linebacker, we want to make sure we take angles, use our leverage, use the sideline, making sure that we're not giving the player that we're going against a two-way go. Another coverage that you can go over is a zone coverage. Zone coverage is a lot different than man coverage. When you look at man coverage, it's just you and a man. But when you look at zone coverage, it's just you operating and manning your zone. If you have a position on the field, you stay in your zone. And when your zone is affected by a certain player coming running a route or someone else throwing the ball to it, is when you attack. Zone coverage is one of my better coverages because it teaches a player how to just stay disciplined, be in your zone. And when someone comes in your zone, you make them pay for it. The last part of coverage is watching the quarterback, seeing what his movements are. How many steps is his drop? Is it 3-step? Is it 7-step? 5-step? Where's his arm going? Where's his eyes looking? Those are things as a linebacker that we have to see. And when he makes his move, we make our move. But we have to make sure that we're in a comfortable position to make our plants, to make our breaks, to make good, proper tackles. The best thing about being a linebacker is making tackles. When you go out as a linebacker and you see someone carrying the football, you want to make sure that you want to have your proper angle, a proper technique, proper leverage to get the ball carrier down to the ground. A lot of times we have to use our hips, making sure that we generate enough power from our stance to get all the way through an opposing runner. A lot of times it may not look like it, but the hits that don't look like they hurt are the ones that really do. Being a linebacker, you have to be in condition. You have to make sure that you're on the field and staying on the field at all times. Conditioning is up to you. It's making sure you go out and find different ways to make sure your body's in condition. For me, I like to run football fields, 100 yards, maybe 10 times, jogging the curves and running the straightaways. Or you can get on a bike for 30 minutes, a treadmill for 30 minutes, or an elliptical for 30 minutes. You should at least have 45 minutes of conditioning every single day to make sure that your body is in tune to stay on the football field as long as possible. Having power as a linebacker comes from everything, from our legs, from our arms, our hips, our explosion, from our technique. All these different things bring the power of a linebacker. Here are some drills that I've done to work on my power to make sure that I'm able to hit harder and make sure that I'm able to run faster. Balance as a linebacker comes from your core. I use many different drills and techniques to keep my balance. A lot of times jumping, hopping on one foot. Also, I try to use different balancing boards and techniques. That way that I can always have a balance at all times when I'm making tackles, when I'm keeping leverage, or when I'm in my pass coverage. Hips as a linebacker are very important. The first thing you want to think about when you're using your hips is that our hips are our keys to moving. In our shuffling, in our backpedaling, in our tackling, hips are very important. So when we want to use our hips, we got to make sure that we're in a proper stance, our proper alignment that's going to be able for us to swivel our hips and move in a direction that we want them to go. Quickness as a linebacker is you practicing every single day to get better at how you can get to a ball carrier quicker, how you can get to your pass drop quicker, how you can make a tackle quicker. Here are different movements that I've learned over the years to make sure that I'm quick to the football at all times. Read steps as a linebacker are something that you can do every single day. You can do it in your home, outside, on the practice field. It's basically just getting into your linebacker stance and using just proper steps. If I want to go to my right, I practice one step to my right. I practice one step to my left. But as you keep doing it over and over again, your body is trained and it knows that when it's time to go to my right, I'm moving with very little wasted movements. I'm not false stepping, going this way, then going that way. I'm making sure that I'm getting to the ball as fast as I can. I make sure I'm getting to my coverage as fast as I can. It's something that you can just do every single day. That way your body knows when it's time to go right, I go right. When it's time to go left, left. And I'm there quick and fast. The mindset of a linebacker as you step out of the huddle, for me, has always been AAKTE. Those letters, for me, stand for alignment, assignment, key, technique, and execution. The first A, alignment. Where should I be at? Where do my teammates know I'm going to be at? Am I at 2 yards? Am I at 4 yards? Am I at 5 yards? Am I in between the hashes? Am I on the numbers? Am I behind the guard? Am I behind the center? Am I behind the tight end? That's your alignment. Then the next one we have is the other A, which is your assignment. Knowing, am I in the blitz? Am I in man-to-man coverage? Am I in zone coverage? Am I dropping? Am I going straight to the ball carrier? That's what you have to know. That's your assignment. Then the K is for key. What is your key to that play? Am I looking at the tight end? Am I looking at the running back? Am I looking at the offensive lineman? Am I looking at the quarterback, wide receiver? What is the key for me on this play that's going to get me to make the play faster? That's what a key is. Then comes your technique. As the ball is snapped, what technique am I going to use? Am I going to use outside leverage? Am I going to use inside leverage? Am I going to use an inside technique on my man coverage or an outside technique? Am I going to make sure I shuffle? Am I going to make sure I backpedal? That's the technique that you have to use after the play is snapped. Then you have the E, which is executing, which is bringing all those things together into one. Executing, making the play. So if you do the AA, KT, and E, alignment, assignment, key, technique, and execution, every single play, it's going to make the game a lot easier for you. These drills can be done every single day or even in your home sometimes. But understand, the more and more that you do these drills, the better you're going to be on the football field. I myself still do these drills every single day. It teaches me every day about technique, about teamwork, about hustling, about finishing, bursting to the ball, strength, conditioning, all those different aspects of what I still go through on a day-to-day basis.